Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. Hey biggies, welcome to Friday 5pm. Brad, we've had a hell of a week, haven't we?
Mate, it's been an absolute Bobby Dazzler of a week. We've been rushed off our feet. Whoa, it's been top bananas, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been amazing. So we put live a video that I've been working on for a long time, which is an adventure trying to recreate classic, traditional, hand-pulled real ale at home. And after probably about a month's research and a month of actually brewing and waiting, we put the first edition live, and it's gone absolutely nuts.
I mean, we always knew that there was demand for home brewing stuff, because a lot of the comments all the time were like, "Oh, you're going to do home brewing stuff," and it's been something which we've dabbled in, and we're obviously massive fans of that. But we kind of want to do it justice, and we wanted to do it at the right time. We've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to try and make somewhere to do it as well. And then lockdown hit us, didn't it, Johnny? And it was a bit like, how do we do this in lockdown when we're not allowed to see each other?
Yeah, exactly. And necessity was the mother of invention. And we were like, well, if we can't go to the pub, but we can homebrew,
yes.
There's content in that. There's an idea. And you know, I've been missing cask ale so much. My local is a bit of a cask ale haven, and I've really missed going in. So that was sort of the impetus behind it. So we've you know, polyfilled over that gap in our lives that was going to be some more homebrew content with some really basic homebrew content that got out of control.
Yeah, I mean, you've not to give any spoilers away, but you've kind of built stuff, and we had a discussion about best ways of pouring it, and all kinds of controversial things and like technical stuff.
Yeah, like on the surface, it feels like it should be very dull content, but somebody on Twitter after they watched it was like, "I'm now more invested in this than I am in Coronation Street." So that's the level of drama we're creating here on the YouTubes.
That's it. That's what we always aim for.
Absolutely.
I think the stakes are high, man. Imagine if this is really good. You know, if people can.
What do you mean, imagine?
Well,
right?
It is going to be really good, obviously. But what I'm saying is, with the equipment that we bought and the stuff that we got our hands on, and the recipe that was amazingly generously shared with us by 5 Points, you know, we're basically setting people up at home during lockdown to kind of do as we do. And, you know, maybe have an amazing beer journey and a beer experience like us.
Yeah, I'm much like the bags of real ale currently reconditioning next to me. I've been feeling the pressure because, you know, like I vented one of the bags because it was getting too full, and I just got a tiny whiff of acetic, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh.
Like, has this beer turned in the bag? Luckily, it hadn't.
Great.
But, you know, I'm well aware that if it does turn acetic, if it doesn't work for whatever reason, I don't know what the second video becomes then.
I guess it's like we did with French Guy Cooking. It's a bit of an exploration video. You know, we're trying to do something here that, on a small scale, is quite difficult. And to do it on a budget and to do it with readily available materials that aren't going to kind of cost the earth. You know, the question is like, can we honestly do it?
Yeah, and it's still, you know, so we're tasting it on Monday. but it's still not at this point confirmed that we can.
Yeah.
What has been heartening, though, to see in all the comments, lots of people do use the bag-in-box, lots of people use the corny keg option, which we thought was probably a bit too pricey and complicated for most people. So all the methods we looked at are legit and have worked. So if it doesn't work, it's it's kind of on me, not on the process we use.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't work to the level that we're happy with, I guess we kind of look at different options, like whether it's corny keg or whatever, and we can kind of go sideways and explore. But I think you've nailed it, mate. I honestly do.
Well, I hope so. We'll find out on Monday. It's going in the fridge tonight. I think it's nearly reconditioned, so it'll chill down, settle out, and then we will see. Because this video, which was one of the most watched we've ever had, certainly in the first sort of 48 hours, there were loads of comments, lots of people sending us private messages as well, like giving us tips or saying thank you for the idea. So thank you to everyone who messaged. But one comment that really caught my eye was from Hugh, the beer kid.
Go on.
Who messaged yesterday on the video and said, I love how craft beer nerds have gone full circle from hating on traditional beer styles to now absolutely loving Best Bitter and now making all these modern interpretations. Then he does a cry laughy emoji. Some of us old school camera boys, spelt BOIS, have been loving malty brown beer since the beginning. I will caveat this by saying that Brad and I have been loving malty brown beer since the beginning as well.
Hell yeah.
But it's definitely true that a lot of people who wouldn't have touched, traditional, air quotes, boring brown bitter a couple of years ago are now all turning around and getting excited about these tall boys of mild, Best Bitter, English IPA I've seen has started to become a trend as well. And everybody's getting really excited about traditional British brewing, which is awesome and something I kind of wanted to tap into with this video.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm not a paid up member of CAMRA. I don't know about you, Johnny, but I do go to CAMRA festivals and I really enjoy them. It's a kind of totally different vibe. Pig's Ear is my festival of choice. I go to it with my mate Buff on the reg for many years, and it's nice to be out of the usual kind of bubble that we're in a little bit. But the beer is always stellar, which is the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just like a normal craft beer festival where there's the odd shocker, but the quality is always really, really high, and you can always drink really well for the entire session. I think CAMRA's done a wonderful job of keeping the love and the tradition of A, cask ale, but B, beer festivals going when beer was not of interest to the general populace.
Yeah.
And I hope now that all these festivals and these breweries are reaping the benefits, and I think they are going to more and more. This love. I mean, we've seen Daya, Boxcar, Northern Monk, Attic, all these super modern craft breweries producing milds and Best Bitters. That Northern Monk beer, they've done a Best Bitter, and it was a collab with Other Half.
Blimey.
That's the level at which this sort of normcore trend has got.
Hype.
Yeah, exactly. Hype normcore, and it's really exciting to see. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm still. We talked about this a couple of years ago in one of the videos. I'm still not particularly sold on traditional beer styles in bottle and can because I just don't think you get the right mouthfeel that you do from a cask ale. But there are breweries who naturally carbonate in package really well, like Moore, and you can get a bit of that mouthfeel, but it's still not the same as a hand pull cask ale, which is what I was trying to recreate in the video.
Hell yeah.
We had another comment from a guy. Every now and then, there's always a comment on the video that pisses you off. So he came on and he said, I love cask ale, but keeping it at home misses the point of the experience of drinking it down the pub, and it's a lot of hassle for most people. Support your British pub, which serves it, and the government to slash taxes on it to encourage more pubs to remain open after lockdown. I think he'd had a couple of real ales by that point.
Does he not realise that we've done this as a result of fucking lockdown? Surely.
I know, that was my response. Yeah. I was like, absolutely agree. This is because the pubs are closed.
Yeah, man. We all love the boozers. I mean, this is you say at the top of the video. Your favourite place on the planet is, I would say, probably why you moved to the area is your local boozer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he slightly missed the point, or he was looking looking to miss the point, which I think a lot of people on YouTube are. They're
Yes.
like just going like, well, it sounds like he's trying to say this, and everyone in the comments is like, no, he's not. So yeah, I enjoyed that from Badder being 888, who clearly didn't engage properly. But hey, welcome to the channel, buddy.
Yeah.
He's not one of our subscribers currently. No. I don't know whether he will be.
Hey, you're welcome to the party, man. You know, once this is over,
everyone's welcome.
We'll all go down the local boozer together and support the nation with taxation. All right.
Lack of he's calling for lower taxation.
Oh, lower tax. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
High five for that.
Yeah, he's 100% right. Pubs are taxed to fuckery.
Yeah.
And that's really unhelpful for their recovery. And there's lots of campaigns at the moment to try and get things like rent and business rates reduced. So if you have any sway, anybody's listening who has any sway over that, please do it so we don't lose thousands of pubs. Right, what other news do we have?
We've got a bloody exciting live show coming up, haven't we, Johnny? Very exciting.
We do. Tomorrow, barely 24 hours away, we are doing I think it's our 17th live show. And to celebrate the big 1-7, what happens at 17? You can learn to drive, right?
You can drink. Can you drink? Or is that 18?
No, that's 18.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Hey, I was drinking way before that, but don't tell anyone.
I think we all were. So tomorrow we'll be welcoming Paul from Cloudwater onto the channel. We'll be asking him lots of questions. I've started polling everyone on social media, so if you've got any questions you want us to ask him, get them in early or join the show and ask them there. And we've also sold 200 six-packs of beer, which we'll be drinking.
Wowza.
Doing a drink along with while that's all happening. And 4 of those are delicious IPAs using 2019's harvest of hops from the west coast of America. So as fresh as they get. So very excited to try those. One of them's Mosaic, which is exciting.
That's amazing. 200. What a great number. So hopefully we're going to have at least 200 people watching along with us, drinking along with us. Guys, if you want to cut through the noise with your questions on the night, you can always super chat us.
Yes, so super chat, you can pay a small fee which goes straight to us, much like our Patreon supporters. It just helps us produce our content, and you get your question answered at the absolute next opportunity, and you get it flashed up on screen. And also you get a thanks and the eternal undying love of Brad and me.
Of course. And you know, we've got the big dog Paul in the house, so you know, make sure these questions are nice and spicy and extra flavorful beery related or life related.
Yeah, I mean Paul is super open about chatting through any issues, any mistakes people think he's made or anything like that. He's a very, very open and engaging guy. So if you have got challenging questions or if you've got like big general questions you just want to ask and get his view on, do write in. Nothing is too broad or controversial. We'd love to challenge Paul and get the best from tonight because he is, I guess the term would be thought leader in the industry.
Yeah, I think so. And we've known Paul for a while. Like we went off to Sonoma County with him a few years ago quite a few years ago now, to Rate Beer Best.
2016.
Yeah, Rate Beer Best Festival. I think that was probably the first time I really got to know Paul, and he was a lovely guy. And he happened to win. Did he win best IPA in the world at that? I think. Or was it double IPA?
He might have been the best double IPA in the world, and he was Cloudwater was 5th best brewery in the world.
So that for him, that was massive, wasn't it? Especially like for reputation around the world, it kind of blew up for Paul. I think while we were with him over there. So yeah, it was fantastic experience.
Absolutely. And we will, before Paul joins us, so we're going live at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Paul will join us at 8:30. Before that, we'll do our usual intro and say hey to you guys and see what you're drinking. But we're also going to watch the video that we made in 2015, which was the brew day of the very first New England double IPA brewed in the UK, which was brewed at Cloudwater. And I was lucky enough to be there filming with Cloudwater on the day. So we're going to do a watch along of that. That I hope will inspire some more questions and also, you know, get you guys to understand Paul and see the way that he works. Obviously, that was 5 years ago now, so Cloudwater is a much bigger beast.
Yeah.
but still producing some of the best beer in the world. So yeah, it's going to be an all-out party. We've got a drink-along, a watch-along, and an industry thought leader to answer your questions for a couple of hours. What are you going to ask, Paul?
I'm going to ask him about his facial hair, I think.
Right.
Because I think he's got... is he rocking a moustache right now?
He might have gone sort of handlebar-ish, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite brave. I think I saw him a little while ago, and I thought, I quite admire that. So, you know, I'll be mostly asking him about facial hair, I imagine.
Is that because you might follow suit?
I don't know. You've got to have quite a strong chin for a moustache. I haven't got a bad jawline, but it's you know.
Nobody's seen your jawline. You could be lying through your teeth.
No, I've got a pretty decent.
Your chin has not been bared for God knows how long.
That's true. It's all right though. I've got evidence from when I was younger.
I reckon you've got a massive bum chin, haven't you?
Oh look, if I had a bum chin, I'd be getting it out because surely that's about the most masculine sort of Stretch Armstrong looking chin going. So I'd be rocking that proudly if I had a bum chin. Defo.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
My chin looks like, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it's a question on everybody's lips, I imagine.
Quite.
So yeah, I'm interested to see what his chin looks like in HD. And then I guess I'll ask him some stuff about beer. I don't know, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe what snacks he might pair with his beers. That's my sort of.
I bet he's going to have some unusual snacks.
Yeah.
He's a man with unquestionably idiosyncratic tastes, I think.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
He's a big foodie, so that would be a great question to ask. It won't be frazzles. That's what I'm trying to say, Brad.
No.
But not everyone's perfect.
No, of course, not everyone can be perfect. I might ask him about his toilets as well in his establishments because they're very exciting. So maybe we can talk. I'd love to talk to him about his toilets. I was really inspired while I was on the loo, and I was getting basically a pep talk through the tannoy. Yeah,
it's a very unique approach to lavs.
Yes, so there are a couple of my questions. Don't nick them. I'll know if you've stolen them. So yeah, toilets.
So I'll deal with the beer, Brad, and you deal with the facial hair and toilets.
That's me.
And snacks.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Deal.
I'm mostly going to be talking about hops and hop harvests and what hop sniffing is like and what you look for, because obviously hops in their raw state don't smell anything like they will once they're in the actual beer. So much changes in those chemical processes during the boil and during fermentation. So we're going to nerd out hopefully about biotransformation and stuff like that, and then lots about culture, because Paul's he's very, very eloquent, very interested in beer culture and in equality and diversity, in which Cloudwater is a huge champion of. And I think it's only right for us to talk about that. And that's why we've got a beer from Rock Leopard, which I think I'm right in saying is the only black-owned brewery in the UK. Paul's been brewing for them. They're a contract brewery and supporting them. So we're going to try one of those beers as well, their lovely IPA. And we'll have a chat about that because it's so relevant and important. So it's going to be a really, really interesting discussion, I think.
Fantastic. Cannot wait.
Absolutely. So yes, that is live on YouTube at 8 p.m. tomorrow. There's a link in the show notes. There's also a link in the show notes to this week's video. And again, we'll be posting links to the charity that I donated to off the back of the Black Lives Matters protests. So we'll leave that in for a couple of weeks, I think, and try and champion that. There's also the other date for your diary is next Wednesday will be episode 2 of our homebrew adventure. I've edited it all the way up to literally the point that I'm at now. I'm almost filming, then editing it in, filming, then editing it in, so that we've got maximum time to perfect that video once we've tasted the beer.
Great stuff.
I'm literally like every time I think about it, I feel a little bit sick. I'm so nervous. I'm more invested in this than I've been in anything that we've done so far, I think.
Blimey.
No, probably the documentary I was more invested in. But this comes second to the documentary. This is heart-wrenching stuff.
Lovely. I cannot wait to get my lips around it. Hopefully I'm going to get to try it someday. Who knows when, Johnny?
I hope so.
Who knows when?
Who Who knows? Say no more. Say no more. Cool. So we will hopefully see as many of you guys as possible tomorrow night with Paul, and we will see you on Wednesday, hopefully for the great unveiling of a delicious cask ale, but possibly not. Who knows? In the meantime, stay safe, stay happy, and we will speak to you tomorrow night.
See ya.
The Bubble Podcast is brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's Craft Beer channel. Head to youtube.com/the Craft Beer channel to watch this week's video and over 400 more exciting episodes. If you love what we do, please do subscribe and even join our Patreon at patreon.com/craftbeer channel. Love and beer.